Hi there, welcome back to the homestead and another video. So I landed up in a little bit of trouble trying to laminate some jacaranda, which I'm hoping to turn into some bedside stands. But it's a classic case of how not to laminate, which I've learnt, of course. But it's forced me to make a router sled so that I can level it out. So I'm going to do this and let's see. You can probably just see it there that it's not even. So I thought I'll get it onto the clamps and it will sort itself out. Unfortunately it hasn't, so it's too wide to fit into my planer, so I'm forced to make a sled to go over this so that I can just get it all level before I can start using it. The second one, which I did, of course, turned out way better because I'd learned from the first one. But now, obviously, I've got to start making this sled. So the plan is to use my MFT table here, and then I've popped out and bought these two straight edges. It's pretty cheap, so I'm going to use those for the sides, and then I have some ply which I'm going to use to make the sled itself. And I pulled this trim router off of my router lathe, so I'm going to use this. I've got a couple of other routers, but I think this one will work fine. This is what the plan looks like. Those are the two straight edges on either side of the MFT table. The router will sit on top. I'll put two sides there, and then you'll be able to slide this across, and it allows me to basically work on material that's the size of the MFT table and a little bit longer, so that's going to be quite nice. So let me start assembling. Okay, I'm going to give everything a quick sand down before I start assembling. I realized that I'm going to need to cut a semicircle there just for the handle of the router so that I can get right up to the edge. So I think I'll just use a hole saw there and cut it down and then come back to assemble. I was short of one by cameraman to video me doing all of this, so I went ahead and cut those and mounted them on. My cameraman was called away to supper, so those are on, and if you look down there, I've left just a little bit of a gap on either side, and that's just to make it easier for dust evacuation. I mean, I'm going to be using a vacuum here on the router, but you're still going to get a little bit of dust, so it just makes it easier to clear out the dust. Next, I'm going to make some sort of a base to fit in there, just so that the router doesn't move too much from side to side. So I'm going to mark that out, cut it down. I'll mount it onto the router, and then we start routering the groove in between there. So let me do that and get back. I cut that square out so that it doesn't move from left to right in the box. Just going to mount that on quickly, and let's check if it works, because I suspect that my measurement was a little bit dodgy, but we give it a whack now and see. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. I've got the plate fitted on there. Cut down to size. My measurements were actually not too bad. That fits in there. Looks pretty alright. I'll wax that up eventually, so it can run freely. So the next thing is that I'm now going to start cutting in the middle of there with the router. So cut. So that's how the sled sits on the table. I've got the straight edges mounted up like that, and then the router's in there. I'm gonna cut the groove through. I've got the vac hooked up, so I'm ready to start cutting my groove through now. I've had to go back to the drawing board. Extremely frustrating. That's too thick, so I'm not getting enough reach with the router bit. I don't have any longer shanked bits, so I've got some 9mm ply. It's much thinner, so I've cut that down to size. I'm going to put it on, cut through it again, groove through it, and I think that should give me far better reach. The new base has worked out much better. You can see there I've taken a few cuts across, so those fine lines will sand out pretty easily. So that works pretty well. I haven't filmed it cuttings because I'm once again one by cameraman shy. My cameraman has had to go and bath and go off for supper and off to bed for school tomorrow. One of the other reasons why I ended the other shot where I did was the Black & Decker router which I was using suddenly in the middle of cut lost about 60% power. I have absolutely no idea why. I've checked the bearings, I've checked the brushes, the armature looks good, so I'm gonna have to get that taken a look at. So I pulled this router off of my router table. I had to go through and make another little base for it, and it doesn't really, the sides don't really work too well. But what I did was turn the boards around so that I can get a wider cut where the handles don't hit onto the sides there, just to finish this off, because I'm over this now. So I want this thing done. I want it flattened and finished and start assembling, because my wife is nagging as well. So I am still one cameraman short. I've ordered some cameras and some mics, so hopefully in the next couple of videos you'll get some better video quality and better sound quality. But for now I'm going to go ahead and flatten out these boards. Wow, that certainly looks way better. The board is now very usable. I made a few boo-boos here and there, but I'm going to chalk it down to the learning curve. I'm sure I'm going to fare much better on these second board underneath. I'm going to do that tomorrow. But it was great to make some sawdust, and I think I'm going to call that a successful build. So, from the Suburban Homesteader, thank you for watching my video. Please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons. Until next time, from the Suburban Homesteader, I'm out.
Maurice, can I be your dance teacher today? Maurice, can I be your dance teacher today?